Hi. This is a short presentation on readiness. This will help your business do more with less, with clear visibility. It will reduce risk, complexity, and reduce costs by at least 10% within your business. Beginning with what readiness is, why this process is used, and how it works. What? The Readiness Actionalytic assesses the preparedness of assets, users, and systems for changes or deployments, aiming to identify potential issues. Why? The Readiness Actionalytic is for organizations aiming to ensure smooth transitions, minimize disruptions, and enhance overall efficiency by proactively assessing and addressing potential issues before implementing changes or deployments. How? An organization would use the Readiness Actionalytic to systematically evaluate its preparedness for upcoming changes or deployments. This involves assessing various factors, such as application readiness, user engagement, and overall system compatibility, to identify potential challenges and take preemptive measures. Benefits of Readiness Actionalytic process. Readiness ensures users are prepared for a change. Proactive issue identification. The Readiness Actionalytic allows organizations to identify potential issues and challenges before implementing changes, enabling proactive problem solving and reducing the risk of disruptions during deployment. Efficient change implementation. By assessing readiness factors, organizations can ensure that all necessary components, including applications and user engagement, are aligned and prepared for changes. This leads to smoother and more efficient implementation of changes with minimal issues. How Readiness Actionalytic process works. The Readiness Actionalytic evaluates various readiness factors within an organization to assess its preparedness for implementing changes. This involves analyzing components such as applications, user engagement, and other critical elements associated with the proposed changes. The Actionalytic utilizes data and metrics to determine the current state of readiness and identifies any potential gaps or challenges that need attention. This information helps organizations make informed decisions about the timing and approach of change implementation, ensuring a more seamless and successful transition. Assets with all apps ready. Assets in this collection have been identified as ready for changes, in terms of all required applications verified and in a compatible state. In use. Assets actively in use by end users, indicating they are part of the current working environment. Not in use. Assets that are not actively being used. They might be spare devices or those waiting to be repurposed. Dead. Assets that are no longer functional or have been retired. These might be old devices that are no longer in service. Application not ready. Assets where one or more applications required for a change are not in a ready state. This could include pending updates or installations. Not ready one. Specific categories for assets that are not yet ready for changes. Each collection could represent different criteria or stages of readiness assessment. Not ready to. Specific categories for assets that are not yet ready for changes. Each collection could represent different criteria or stages of readiness assessment. Not ready 3. Specific categories for assets that are not yet ready for changes. Each collection could represent different criteria or stages of readiness assessment. Ready. Assets in this collection are fully prepared for changes. All necessary requirements, including applications, configurations, and user settings, are in a ready state. There are several business engagement activities that should be actioned before activating. There is a number of steps which should be done for each Actionalytic listed at the start of this book. However, there are specific ones for the Readiness Actionalytic. Gaining authority for readiness checks. Engage with relevant stakeholders to secure the necessary permissions and authority for conducting readiness checks. Collaborating with application owners. Establish communication channels with application owners to gather insights into application readiness. Providing training on readiness assessment process. Conduct training sessions for relevant teams involved in the readiness assessment process, ensuring they understand the methodologies, tools, and criteria used in assessing readiness. The following steps are required for the readiness technical setup. Configure data sources for readiness assessment. Define and set up data feeds from relevant sources such as AD and application databases. Establish criteria for readiness categorization. Define the parameters and criteria for categorizing assets into readiness collections. Integrate clear visibility with communication channels. Configure communication channels within clear visibility for notifications and updates to stakeholders. Define and configure readiness assessment schedules. Set up schedules for automated readiness assessments, specifying frequency and timing. Implement user training for clear visibility usage. Develop and deliver training materials to end users and relevant teams on using clear visibility for readiness checks. Establish feedback mechanisms for readiness challenges. Create a system for collecting feedback from end users and stakeholders regarding any challenges or issues identified during readiness assessments. Documentation of technical setup procedures. Document the steps taken in the technical setup for future reference and troubleshooting. The following administration tasks are automatically generated while running the Actionlytic. Monitor readiness assessment results weekly. Regularly review the results of the readiness assessments to identify any trends, issues, or anomalies. Address exceptions and challenges as needed. Investigate and resolve any exceptions or challenges identified during the readiness assessments. Update readiness criteria monthly if necessary. Periodically review and update the criteria used for readiness categorization based on evolving business needs. Communicate readiness status to stakeholders monthly. Provide updates to relevant stakeholders on the overall readiness status and any significant findings. Collect and analyze user feedback ongoing. Gather feedback from administrators regarding their experience with readiness assessments and use this input for improvements. Collaborate with application owners for updates quarterly. Work with application owners to ensure that application-related data is up to date and accurate for assessments. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or want to know more, please feel free to contact me.